Hi guys, welcome to another Chapter IT bite-sized session. In this session we're going to be looking at passwords and email addresses and also how to set up a Gmail account. Okay, so let's get going. Okay guys, so as I explained in the introduction, this session is about email and setting up email. This session is being designed specially for people who haven't got email addresses and are looking to create one for themselves. Okay, now before we look at email, we need to know what it is. Okay, electronic mail or email is a fast and efficient way of sending information from one person to another by using the internet. You can send various types of data like information, okay, via email, text, photographs like JPEG, documents in all format, MP3 audio, small MP4 files. Okay, the maximum amount of data you can send in an email is 25 meg, which isn't a lot, to be quite honest with you, but that's the way it is. These days, if you want to send any more information, you have to share the information using the cloud, but we can go on, we can talk about that later on in another session. We can send huge amounts of information from one corner of the globe to another in a matter of seconds. But you can only send and receive information when you have an internet connection. You must be connected to the internet some way in order to send an email. If you're sending an email via your phone, you can use a 3G or a 4G or even a 5G connection now, but the majority of the time you will be using an internet connection either at home or in an internet cafe or in a hotspot where there is a wireless connection. Okay, there are many different types of email application, okay, but they all have very similar features. The more popular providers are Gmail. If you look here, this is the Gmail here, and this one here we've got Outlook, and then we've got Yahoo down the bottom here. Okay, so when we're creating an email account, we need to decide what we're going to call it. So we need to provide an address and a password. Now, when you register, okay, when you create an account, you will be asked to suggest an email address and a password for it. We suggest 2 email addresses. If you're going to have an email address, okay, we suggest that you have 2, one for your personal and one for your business. Okay, your personal could be something quite funny. It doesn't have to be very serious at all. If you're sending information to backwards and forwards to your friends and family, it doesn't need to be a very serious email. You can call it what you like. However, if you are sending correspondence over the internet using email to potential employers or other specific companies, you will need a email address which looks sensible. 9 times out of 10 you will actually use your name. Okay, so try and have a suitable email address if you're sending formal correspondence. Okay, so an example of an email address would be this one here. Okay, I've just done a simple one here, jane_doe88@gmail.com. Now, if you notice, there are no spaces in an email address. Okay, there's no space at all. However, if you do need to put a space, as you can see here, okay, I've put a little underscore under there, and you can also use a dot if you wish. All email addresses are in lowercase. It doesn't matter if you have it in capitals. However, it doesn't actually recognize it either way, so there's no need to capitalize the first letter of the email address, so on and so forth, because it doesn't really matter at all. And all email addresses are separated with this sign here, and this is called an @ sign. And if you see up in the email address as an example, there is the @ sign there, and it separates your name or whatever you've called your email address by your email provider. Now this is Gmail, but this could actually be Outlook or Yahoo or anything like that, or even it could be your any sort of supplier like a post office or your phone provider like BT, so on and so forth. Okay, so You will also be asked to create a password. When creating a password, we should always make sure that we use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers and symbols in our email, in our password. It is possible to use an everyday word which has 8 characters or more and change it so it becomes a strong password. Quite often people use passwords which they'll remember, and they are very, very weak and they are easy to work out, and people tend to have their information stolen because of this. We need to try and make sure our passwords are as strong as possible so nobody can actually access our email address without our permission. All right, so here's an example of a strong password. I've taken the word hippopotamus and I've changed it so it becomes a strong password. So all I've done, if you notice here, is I've changed the text in red, okay, into something different. So the I has changed into a 1, the O has turned into a 0, the A has turned into an @ sign, the A there is turned into a 0, and we've got the 99 there. Okay, now there is an app out there on the in the internet, How Secure Is My Password.net. All you need to do is type that into Google and it'll bring it up, and all you do is you put your password into the search bar there and it will tell you how strong your password is. So if I put hippopotamus in there, okay, we typed hippopotamus into the website and it's told us it would take 16 billion years for someone to figure it out using a computer. Okay, so it is safe to say that is a strong password, so try it yourself. Log into www.howsecureismypassword.net and give it a go. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to create a Gmail account. Now, you don't have to use Gmail, you can use anyone you like Outlook or Yahoo, so on and so forth. But in this instance, we're going to be using Gmail. I do recommend Gmail. It is quite a nice email provider to use and it offers quite a lot of features as well. So what we're going to do is we type in Gmail into the search engine and Gmail sign up will pop up like that. We'll just tap on that and it'll bring up the links. We'll click on create a Google account and it should bring up a little form for us to fill in. Now the top one, you just put your name in. I'll put my name in. Okay, fantastic. Okay, and the next part is username. Now this is your email address. This is the address that you'll be using to receive and send emails. All right, so you need to figure out what you're going to put in here. Remember in the session before, we did talk about what type of email address you should have. If you have a personal one, it could be something quite fun, it doesn't really matter. But if you're sending formal correspondence, it needs to be something quite sensible, like your name. All right, so what we'll do is we'll create one, we'll try to create one. Okay, so if I put my name in there, Steve.bitesize. Okay, if it is already been taken, it will actually tell you that it's been taken and you'll have to create something else. All right, so if it's okay and you're good to go, you can actually start creating passwords. Now in the session earlier, we did talk about passwords. You need to make sure you've got uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers and symbols in your email. So what we'll do is we'll create a password here. Now if you see this little I with a cross over it, if we just tap on that, it will allow us to see what we're typing. Otherwise all it will be dots. So let's create an email, a password. Right, okay, so H1PP0 $2020. Okay, quite a simple one. Okay, then we have to confirm it. It needs to be the same, otherwise it won't work. 0 £, no, $, 2020. Oop. Okay, they have to be identical, quite easy to make a mistake. Just make sure they're perfect together and click on next. And if everything's sorted out, it should bring you to the next stage. Now, it will ask you to verify your phone number. Now, this is very, very important. If you forget your password and you don't have any way of finding it out, then you're pretty much scuppered, because you're not going to be able to get into your email. However, if you actually have your phone number linked to your email address, then you'll be able to reset your password with a code. All right, so what we'll do is we'll pop a number in here. 2 seconds. Alrighty, take a number in here. So 1, 4, 1, 5, 0, 8, 9, 0, 6. Okay, that number there is actually a training number, so if you do try to phone it, guys, it will not answer. All right, it's just an example. Now, what happens then, it should send you a code, which it just has now, which is fantastic. And then all you do is you pop the code into the bar there. 3, 4, 8, 5, 0, 6. Fantastic. So once you've done that, it will then link your number to your email, and all you got to do then is you can put a recovery email address in there if you wish. All right, and you just pop your date of birth in here. Okay, excellent. And then put your gender in. You don't have to put that in. Okay, you can rather not say if you want to do that. It's completely up to you. So once you've done that, it will ask you if you want to opt into some features that Gmail offer. We'll skip that for now, and then it will bring you to the terms and conditions. Now, you can read all that, okay, and then you need to agree to them. If you don't agree to them, then you're not going to be able to have an email address with them. All right, and once you've done that, you need to confirm. And what happens then is it will bring you to your welcome screen. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this. Okay, fantastic. All right, so what we do now is we go to here and go to our Gmail, and it should bring us to our new Gmail accounts. And there we have it. We have now created a Gmail account with Google. So every time you use it now, okay, you will use that email address, or in this instance it will be steve.bitesize@gmail.com, and that is the email address you will give out every time you want to correspond with other people. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye bye.